Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
You okay?
No.
How are you? You alright? So nice to see you.
Yeah, that's fine. How are you?
And your health alright?
Yeah. Look at him.
I know, it's so lively and bubbly, isn't
Oh,
it?
yes, very, very much so.
It's very popular.
Oh,
So created attention for everybody else.
yeah. You okay though?
Yeah,
Everything
nice to
okay?
see you.
Family okay?
Family okay, yeah.
Good.
And of course, you probably know, but I lost my sister last year.
Yeah.
So just trying to remember.
Mum passed away in December. Yeah. So it's been one of those years, hasn't it? I'm sorry for your loss too. You carry on. Who speaks in? Hare Krishna. I'm so sorry. Shamu? Okay. Calm down with the... No, you don't really meant to be sitting on the floor. Did you make the wall? Oh, thank you. Come on, Vidya. We got to go and do our roll down. Come on. Say bye. Say bye. Jai Shri Krishna. Radhe Radhe Shyam. Jai Shri Krishna. Say Radhe Radhe. Come on. No, Prabhuji's going to tell us off. Prabhuji's going to tell us off. How are you, Prabhuji? Shyam, come on. Quick. Prabhuji's going to tell us off.
Okay, are you going to help us? Are you going to help us clean the
As
temple?
soon
or
as
are you
he's
gonna
old
go?
enough, he will. As soon as he's old enough. Hare Krishna, Kim Cho. Good to see you. Hare Krishna. Come on.
I just came in to book from Prashad Seva and I'm just helping him out. So this, is he going on with the thing? Can you remove the library then
Yeah, it should be. You close it after. Yeah, just make sure that when she leaves, the door to the otherwise someone's there breaking and steal stuff.
Make sure
That whenever she leaves it from there, so you look for a devotee and tell them, yeah, oh, you can locate yourself and you can go through the back. Because otherwise, someone may come, otherwise,
Nandini, you're okay, you're getting big now.
we're literally 5 minutes.
How old are you now? Huh?
Yeah.
11? Wow, you're getting big. Very good. Nice to see you.
But why do you want to go through the back door? We always try to save something for someone who needs something.
Is it taken off or?
Yeah. You can wrap
Is it taken off, Tyler?
No. Tomorrow? Yeah, I can do that. But which offering? The 4:30 or? Right, okay, yeah, I can do that. I won't forget, I can do that. Yeah, this way.
Yes. This, yeah, they have to do, they're going to spray sanitizer.
This bit here I have to do, spread it out.
I couldn't find
Yeah, in this cupboard here behind the door.
inside the cupboard.
There's a bucket in there, you just put it in there.
I think this has been the first time in 3 months that people have actually bought salt.
Really? What's the class about? Is it calendar?
Yes. Yeah, you would. Thank you. Oh, on the. Oh, are they? Okay, we start the kirtan, then you. Telling me that I should start. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Hare Krishna, thank you. Bhaktivedanta Yeah, it's here. I want to do the prayer, all glories. I don't know the... Okay. You did? Gita. Well, we have a big crowd today. That is a good start. You know, they just started class yesterday, so that's a good sign. Yeah, the evening class after more than a year. It's 6:41. Okay. So I read the verse. No, you read. You read the verse. 6:41. Don't worry. Radhakni Mataji. Okay, I'll do word by word and then you do the whole verse. Yeah? Prapya Punya Kirtam Lokan Yushitva Shashvati Samaha. You read the verse? Are you ready? 41. Shuchitnam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Prihrastu Vijayate. You reading? No? Okay. Prapya punya kritam lokan Yushitva shashvati samaha. Shuchinam shrimatam gehe Yoga Brihyastu Vijayate. Prapya Punya Kritam Lokan Yushitva Shashvati Samaha. Shuchitnam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Birastu Vijayate. Prapya Punya Kritam Lokan Yushitva Shashvati Samaha. Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Virastu Vijayate. Prapya Punya Kritam Lokan Vishishtva Saraswati Samaha. Yoga Brihashta Vijayate. Okay, go on. Prapya Punya Kritam Lokan Yushitva Shashvati Samaha. Ruchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Bhirastu Vichayate. Prapya Punya Kritam Lokan Yushitva Shashvati Samaha Ruchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Bryasto Vichayate. Prapya Punya Kritam Lokan Ushitva Shashvati Samaha Ruchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Bryasto Vijayate. Thank you. Rangini, you want to do it? You won't be worse than me. You know, you heard me. Go on. Prapya Punya Kritam Lokan Ushitva Shashvati Samaha Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Vijayate. You were actually the best. Thank you. Thank you for doing it. Well, okay. We do word by word. Prapya, after achieving. Punya Kritam, of those who perform pious activities. Lokan, planets. Ushitva, after dwelling. Shashvati, many. Sama, years. Shuchinam, of the pious. Srimatam, of the prosperous. Gihe, in the house. Yoga Brashtaha, one who has fallen from the path of self-realization. Abhijayate, takes his birth. Translation. The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Please repeat. The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Thank you. Purport. The unsuccessful yogis are divided into two classes. One is fallen after very little progress, and one is fallen after long practice of yoga. The yogi who falls after a short period of practice goes to the higher planets, where pious living entities are allowed to enter. After prolonged life there, one is sent back again to this planet to take birth in the family of a righteous Brahmana, Vaishnava, or of aristocratic merchants. The real purpose of yoga practice is to achieve the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, as explained in the last verse of this chapter. But those who do not persevere to such an extent and who fail because of material allurements are allowed, by the grace of the Lord, to make full utilization of their material propensities, and after that they are given opportunities to live prosperous lives in righteous or aristocratic families. Those who are born in such families may take advantage of the facilities and try to elevate themselves to full Krishna consciousness. Okay. Well, we have full house tonight here, and thank you for all of you coming. Thank you for those who are online listening. But since we have full house here in the temple room, we want to make it as interactive as possible. Okay. But and we also, I just want to tell the people who are online, here we have Rangini as well. You are, how old are you, Rangini? 11, yes? Am I correct? Okay. Just wanted to not make any mistakes. She's 11. Yes. So Rangini is 11 years old, and she reads Bhagavad Gita regularly. Not only just reads, but we do discussion. Well, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Because at least when you come to my house, you read it, and I'm sure you read it with your mom and dad as well. No? No, okay. Well, we meet twice a week, don't we? We read Bhagavad Gita twice a week and Srimad Bhagavatam once a week. And she's always present. Well, she comes with Raka, with her mom, but she's very attentive in the class. Well, it's not a class, we do the discussion with Radha Shakti Mataji. And imagine 11 years old tolerates us listening. She's very attentive. She listens very carefully. She asks questions, and she gives some good answers as well. So thank you very much for coming. And so we're going to do some kind of discussion here today. But before we, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask in turn, what is your understanding, of what we read? Okay. But before we go to the understanding, I just give a short background of the verse, because it's kind of right in the middle of, well, the class has just started, but even if but the verse is like it had some background to it. So I just give a short background, or anybody else want to help? You want to give a summary, or anybody of you, about this 6th chapter? It is Dhyana Yoga. Do you know what is Dhyana Yoga about? Do you know? Maybe Prabhu? Well, I know you know, but you don't want to speak. That's okay. Yes, that's right. Maybe, Rangini, do you want to reflect back what Radha Shakti Mataji said about Dhyana Yoga? It's okay. Raka, do you want? Okay, okay. Okay, so just giving a very short summary of Dhyana Yoga. It is the practice that yogis, those who we know, of course, the perfect yogi is Bhakti, but those who we kind of know them as yogis, they practice through eightfold of yogic practice. One of them is called Ashtanga Yoga, but there are so many different kind of practices that, and they gain certain ability, certain power, which is more than ordinary people. So it's basically that is the Yoga. And from the beginning of the chapter, almost from verse 8 to 20, Krishna explains how it is practiced. It goes into not very detailed, but some detail where the place we should go to practice this Dhyana Yoga, the way we should sit, the way we should breathe, the way the eyes should very kind of it has a lot of details into how the posture of the body should be. And then it talks about how the mind should be focused. So almost about 10 verses, Krishna explains how this Dhyana Yoga is practiced. And then from verse 20 to 32, Krishna tells us what results that yogi gets, the result of practicing this kind of yoga. Of course, with this yoga, it's kind of sometimes, in the West, it's misunderstood as some kind of gymnastic, and the most they would go into certain breathings. But there's a lot more in that. And Krishna says, if somebody does practice it properly, they achieve, they become, the perfect yoga, they will achieve this, Supreme Lord. But it's not practiced properly. That's why people, first of all, it's very difficult to practice that kind of yoga. So a lot of people fail to complete it. But so they kind of stop somewhere in the middle, but also even if someone does succeed, it contains a lot of austerities. It's very, very difficult actually to practice this yoga properly. That is why. And then after Krishna explains what is the result of this yoga, then Arjuna, by hearing that, he just goes, hold on, that's too hard. I cannot do that. So that's kind of background to this. And then when Arjuna says that it is very difficult to practice, he kind of has some sympathy for those who follow this path. And he says, well, it's really hard. Well, I cannot do it. But those who follow that path, what if they fail? What if they don't complete it? And then it comes to this verse that for those who are not able to complete that yoga practice, what happens to them? So that's just, I probably talked too much, but does somebody want to reflect back about this summary, or we just go straight to the verse? You want to say? Perfect, thank you. You retained so much. You know, you're right. I talked a lot, so you remember. Thank you very much. Okay, so then we come to this, we come to this verse. So let's start. The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Krishna gives a very straight answer. Would you like to understand what it says? Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, who was listening to Radha Chakravarti? You were listening? Kind of very straightforward answer from Krishna, but since we don't have much time, so we just go straight to the purport. Prabhupada kind of unpacks it a little bit more. The unsuccessful yogis are divided into two classes. One is fallen after very little progress, and one is fallen after long practice of yoga. Rangini, would you like to reflect back on this? Okay, we wait for you, huh? Shall we wait? Okay, you didn't understand the sentence. Abby, would you like to reflect back? Yes.
Okay, so Prabhupada is explaining how unsuccessful yogis are classified into two groups, and one who's been practicing for a long time and one who's been practicing for a not very long time.
Yes, thank you very much. So basically, Prabhupada says, yes, that's, he confirms what the verse said, but he kind of gives a little bit more details that they have slightly different path. He will explain, not quite. They both end up in the righteous families, but slightly different routes. So they are, these unsuccessful yogis, they're divided into two groups. Yeah? Okay. The yogi who falls after a short period of practice goes to the higher planets where pious living entities are allowed to enter. So maybe, can I ask Prabhu? Prabhu, would you like to say what he says? Yeah. Just say what was your understanding of that sentence.
If the yogi who practice for a short time, so basically he can get enough the pious credits to take birth in the devotee family or something. So he goes first to the higher planets. That's my understanding.
Okay.
If he practices for longer time, probably he gets more motivated to continue.
Yeah, it says, Prabhupada says at the end. Maybe we finish to the end of the paragraph. Yes, you said that if somebody is practicing yoga for a short time and is not successful, then he goes to the higher planets. After prolonged life there, one is sent back again to this planet to take birth in the family of a righteous Brahmana, Vaishnava, or aristocratic merchants. So you said that he wants to continue his practice, but before he is born into a suitable family, he goes to the higher planets and then is born. Yeah, is that what you were saying? Yeah, you want to add more to that? More for? Okay. So, it's too? Uh-huh. Okay, let me see if I understood you. You're saying that there are some who practice it very seriously, but there are some people who just lightly, they practice lightly, and this is for those who practice it lightly. For common. Majority of people. Yes. Thank you. So the route for them, for the majority, is that they, they fail to succeed, but they, first they are born into higher planets, and then when they live their lives there, they are born. All right, okay, yes, he did say that a lot of his yes. Well, you are kind of, you're ahead of us, because Prabhupada actually does say in a lecture on this verse, he says that, because it seems that this is only for those who practice this dhyana yoga, but he says in the lecture that even for anybody practicing Krishna consciousness, we may fail. You know, it's not that everybody, he wants everybody to succeed. He kind of really insists and pushes us, but he says that actually practicing Krishna consciousness is practically declaring war on Maya. And so therefore Maya is ready to have a good fight. So it's, She comes with full force. So he knows that not all of us will succeed. That's why actually it's interesting. In that lecture, Prabhupada says, well, we know that he wants us all to succeed and go back to Krishna. But when he gives this lecture on this verse, he says that Arjuna asked this question about what is the destination of an unsuccessful yogi. And he says, it's a very good question. And you wonder that why Prabhupada said it's a good question, because he wants us all to succeed, but he knows that a lot of us will fail. So therefore, it kind of gives hope that don't worry, even if you fail, whatever you have practiced is not lost. It will be kept in your credit. So that's why you are born into a suitable family, so you can continue from where you finished off. So that's why he says it's a good question, because it gives hope to a lot of us, especially me. So thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you. Okay. So the real purpose of yoga practice is to achieve the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, as explained in the last verse of this chapter. Well, all the verses, the last verses of all the chapters end up with saying that, Prabhupada saying that Krishna consciousness is, the highest perfection is practicing Krishna consciousness. So, who wants to understand this sentence? The real purpose of yoga practice is to achieve the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, as explained in the last verse of this chapter. Go ahead. Thank you very much. Angini, were you listening to Mother Radha? No problem. Anybody wants to reflect back what Mother said? You go. Anybody want to add anything? Yes. No. Yes, thank you. But why Prabhupada says that? Thank you. You want to reflect back what Mommy said? No, she was telling me. Goal of practicing yoga. You've heard about the book Perfection of Yoga? There's one of Prabhupada's small books, and he is especially kind of referring to those who have a different idea about practicing yoga. And because this chapter is mainly about dhyana yoga, Prabhupada kind of makes it just clarifies that even, this dhyana yoga, the main purpose is, what is the main purpose for practicing even dhyana yoga? Okay, thank you very much. But those who do not persevere to such an extent and who fail because of material allurements are allowed by the grace of the Lord to make full utilization of their material propensities. Right. Abhi, you want to understand?
Difficult to really have that determination and keep going, whatever happens. Yeah, find that challenging, and that they become very attracted, overly attracted to material energy, and they're taken in by that. And that means that they're not successful. Still, not everything is lost. Actually, the Lord gives them. The Lord gives them an opportunity to make use of and use it to success. I'm not sure actually if I understand this last part. I don't know, there's a cordless mic, but I don't know how it works. Okay. Yeah, there is a microphone in this camera as well, which might pick up. Okay, so I'm not sure if I understand the full sentence actually, but I'll say, what I just said. So I understand that Prabhupada is saying that for people who don't have such great determination that they can be successful, that they're just a bit too attracted to the material energy and they get taken in by that. Actually, they're given the chance by the Lord to make use of whatever material abilities they have.
Thank you very much. So I understood you were saying that those who are not successful because of their material attachments that they have. So this, my understanding is that this is why, it's kind of referring to their destination. That's why they go to the higher planets, because they have too much material attachments. They are practicing, but because they have too much material attachments, their material desires can be fulfilled in the higher planets. Okay, I think we need to kind of push it a bit. So they go. So they are given opportunity to make full utilization of their material propensities. And after that, they are given opportunities to live prosperous lives in righteous or aristocratic families. So you're asking the meaning of the word aristocratic. Can you make a guess? It says here, just from the sentence, it says they are given opportunities to live prosperous lives in righteous or aristocratic families. Huh? Saintly. Aristocratic, not quite saintly. They have some high position in the society, but they may be, some aristocratic families may be saintly, but the word itself, it doesn't mean saintly. But you are in the right path. You're kind of thinking of some high position. Yes? Okay, who knows what is aristocratic family? No, it's just have a guess. You know, those who are very, you know, they have high social position. They are very rich. No, mostly the royal family. They are very aristocratic, but you don't have to be royal family to be aristocratic. You know, very. Yeah. Yeah. High material knowledge, they're kind of philosophers, you know, like that, you mean? Mm-hmm. Let me see. Yes, yes. Okay, you're saying that, well, at least at those times, aristocratic families mainly were those who were in charge of the just rulers of the society. They had high positions, so they were mainly kshatriyas. Yeah, it could be translated to aristocratic to kshatriyas. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's good to look it up. Nobody else has. Hold on. Okay. Belonging to or typical of a aristocracy. Well, it's aristocracy. What is aristocracy? A member of aristocracy, especially noble and aristocrat by birth, one who has the bearing and viewpoint typical of the aristocracy, one who favors aristocracy.
I found
Go on.
the highest class in certain societies, typically comprising people of noble birth, holding hereditary titles and offices, so like the royal family, you know, they have like these titles.
They have those who have high position in the society. Rangini, is that clear for you? So what happens exactly for the yogis who don't succeed? We're still talking about the first group, those who practice for a short time. They come to the earth and born in. Yeah, definitely. Most aristocrats, you know, they would be pious, but it says here